Okay, so looking at number 9, sorry, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit because we're making a video, but number 9, we had to find little b. Again, how do we find that? We make x 0. So we treat this as if it's an equal sign. The only significance of the inequality is it tells us, oh, that's a solid line, not a dashed line. And also, we're going to shade in a certain place, either above or below the line. So we find little b, meaning the y-intercept, by making x 0. When we make x 0, we cover up the x, and we find that to be 4y is equal to -8. We solve for y by dividing both sides of the equation by 4. So that would be -8 divided by 4, and there I got the -2. So that's how I got that. Then I plot that on my y-intercept. The next thing I do is find the slope. So the m is the slope, and we find slope with standard form by using -a over b. And this is a standard form equation here. All of them on the back of here are standard form equations. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. The standard form has 3 things there, a, b, and c. You only use a and b for the slope. So standard form allows us to see slope. Slope is -a over b. Very easy to see. We just take -3 divided by 4. That's the slope. So what does that mean? That means you're going to go down from this b here. You're going to go down 3 and write 4. And that's going to be our next point on the line. And then we determine whether or not it's going to be dashed or solid. Is it going to be solid or dashed? Solid, because we have a bar underneath here. If we have the bar underneath the inequality sign, the equal to part, it's going to be a solid line. Now the last thing to determine is which side to shade on. There's a shortcut that I'm going to show you, but what we can do is test a point. Our best test point is always 0, 0, so long as that is not on the line, and in this case it's not. In number 7 it is, by the way. Number 9 it is not. So I'm going to test this point here, and I'm going to see if that point is true. If that point satisfies the inequality, that means every point on this side of the line will satisfy the inequality, and that means I will shade there. If this point does not satisfy the inequality, meaning it is false, I get a false statement at the end of the day, that means that every point on this side of the line does not, and therefore I must shade on this side, because these are the points that work over on the other side in that case. So let's find out what side we shade on right now. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0 there, and it's very easy to see what this will be when you plug in 0, 0. 0 for x, 0 for y. What happens? 0 plus 0 is what you should be doing in your head. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 is less than -8. Well, so for those of you who aren't following, this is what I'm doing. I plugged in 0 for x and 0 for y. This is my test point here. It's the easiest test point you can pick. So then I have 0, simplified there, is less than or equal to -8. And I ask myself, is this a true statement? Is 0 less than or equal to -8? No, it's not, because on the number line, 0 is to the right of -8. So 0 is greater than. So this is false. -8 is less than. No, this is false here. So because this is false, that means every single point on this upper part above the line is false. So therefore, we're going to shade below the line. All these points are the ones that work. The ones up above don't, because this one of them did not. Therefore, none of them do. So you test the point. Now, what I was going to say is in all of these problems, there is a shortcut to know which side to shade on. Are you ready for this? It's important, so I pay attention. The shortcut is this. If you have a less than, you're going to shade below the line. If you have a greater than, you will shade above the line. Did you catch that? So if you have a less than, you shade below the line. If you have a greater than, you'll shade above. So does that mean you need to do a test point? In that case, no, you can use the shortcut. But I did want to show you the test point because that is kind of what you are doing, and you should understand that, why you shade above or below the line, but that is a shortcut. And that's it.